Good evening and thanks for watching FSC TV. Alongside Andrew Pauling, I'm Kenzie Council. Tonight we cover the SAAC double feature fundraiser, outdoor sculpture competition returning to Lakeland, and an Ohio Pike chapter being placed on administrative suspension. Only on the weekly at 5, which starts right now.
The Rue Library announced open registration for a new course, Library 1005, Investigations Navigating the Information Ecosystem, which will help students locate and use information. The course is open to all students looking for extra credits or wanting to learn more about library research. During this course, students will develop the skills needed to navigate and understand the information systems at Florida Southern. The class will begin March 19th and will meet virtually Mondays and Wednesdays at 12:15. For any questions or more information, contact Julie Hornick at Rue.
Get your car cleaned and ready because the Student Athlete Advisory Committee is hosting a movie fundraiser at the Silver Moon Drive-In next Friday. The drive-in will be showing a double feature starting with Walking Chaos at 7:30 p.m., followed by John Wick 3 at 9:50 p.m. Food and snacks will be sold at the venue, and there will also be a car trunk decoration contest with prizes. The contest has a $10 entry fee. Interested parties can purchase pre-sale tickets with all proceeds from the fundraiser going to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Further information for this event can be found on Engage. Now it's time for your Southern Spotlight segment. Each week, FSC TV partners with SGA to bring you campus news and to highlight ways students can participate in different aspects of student life here at Florida Southern.
Hey Mox, welcome back to this week's episode of the Southern Spotlight. I'm your host, Blake Lowry, bringing you the news on all things SGA. This week, we had our inaugural Frank Lloyd Wright Day Off. We hope you all were able to enjoy yourselves, and we hope you got the chance to participate in some of the amazing activities that we had going on campus. We in SGA are so excited to start this new tradition with you all, and we would like to extend a very big thank you to everyone who helped make this day possible. We couldn't have done it without you. Word of advice that I have for everyone watching is to turn on the SGA Instagram post notifications, as next year's Frank Lloyd Wright Day Off will be a complete surprise, as we won't be announcing it until the quack of dawn on the day of. On Tuesday, March 23rd, we will hold this semester's virtual town hall. It's right around the corner, folks. The link will be posted on Engage and will also be available via our Instagram bio, so make sure you're on the lookout for that link, as it will be posted closer to the day of town hall. That's all we have for you this week on the Southern Spotlight. Remember to be like Moxie and mask up. May the Mox be with you.
In women's tennis news, the number 18 Mox opened their season with a 7-0 sweep of the Ecker Tritons on Tuesday. The women will open the home slate of their schedule on Saturday as they host the Sailfish of Palm Beach Atlantic, with first serves coming at 3 o'clock. The men's basketball team fell to 3-4 on the season after a 79-75 loss at Florida Tech Wednesday night. Southern will close out the regular season with a pair of home games, as PBA will be coming to Lakeland on Friday night for a reschedule from last week, followed by the regular season finale against Barry on Saturday. Tip-off for those games is scheduled for 5 and 4 o'clock respectively, with both contests being streamed on the SSC digital network.
The Lakeland and Winter Haven area ranked 13th on Roofstock's U.S. cities with the most startup business under the mid-size metro category. The area was noted to have a startup rate of 8.5% compared to the category's highest rate of 11.35% in Provo, Orem, Utah. The real estate investment marketplace used data from the 2018 Business Dynamics Statistics in the U.S. Census Bureau, placed their rankings, and identified the locations with the most startups. Researchers also calculated the average annual number and proportion of new jobs created. Only metropolitan areas with at least 100,000 new jobs were included. The Tampa, St. Pete, and Clearwater area ranked at number 12 underneath the large metro area category.
As part of the Florida Outdoor Sculpture Competition, sculptors have started to line the streets of downtown Lakeland. The Lemon Street Promenade once again features 10 new three-dimensional art pieces. Almost a dozen sculptures were chosen for the 21st annual competition by a jury comprised of a number of representatives from the city, the Polk Museum of Art, and the local art community. The top scoring pieces, which span the 3 blocks between South Florida and Massachusetts Avenue, will be on display downtown until February 2022. Locals will have the opportunity to award one sculpture with the People's Choice title and a $1,500 prize once all 10 pieces have been installed.
Taking a Kid Fishing Incorporated is putting together their resources to build a fishing campground for hundreds of kids in Mulberry. It started with William Dunn, founder and CEO of the company, taking his neighbor's son, who didn't have a father figure in his life, fishing. Dunn said that after a few trips, he started to see the big difference he made in the child's life. The nonprofit organization started 3 years ago, and they have taken out at least 2,500 children since then. The first official campground will be on the new pond in Imperial Lakes. 2 organizations donated their time over the weekend to help reconstruct the landscape. Taking a Kid Fishing is completely run by community donations.
Orlando's Gatorland welcomed 2 new residents last Friday. The pair of reptiles were rescued and relocated to their forever home as part of the park's global conservation program. David, the Lake Michigan alligator, made national headlines back in 2018 when he was found floating in a harbor 35 miles north of Chicago with his mouth taped shut. Fighting off infections, David weighed just over 16 pounds when he was discovered in the frigid winter waters. The second gator joining the so-called alligator capital of the world is Casanova, a 30-year-old American alligator. Casanova was rescued from a crack house where she spent 2 decades crammed in a 40-gallon tank and fed just 1 goldfish a month. You can visit David, Casanova, and an array of wild cats, tortoises, and endangered birds at the 110-acre park. Gatorland is currently offering Florida residents 50% off park admission through March 31st.
During investigation into the death of a student, the chapter of Pi Kappa Alpha's fraternity at Ohio's Bowling Green State University was placed on administrative suspension. Stone Foltz, age 20, died after an alleged hazing incident last Thursday, which was said by a non-fraternity student to have included drinking large amounts of alcohol. He was found unconscious shortly after he returned from the event at around 11 to 11:30 p.m. and was flown to a nearby hospital where he was in critical condition for 3 days before passing away. The fraternity's international headquarters placed the chapter on administrative suspension and may pursue permanent suspension, as well as expulsion of chapter members, as more details are confirmed. They released a statement expressing their sympathy and highlighting their zero-tolerance hazing policy. Few details about the investigation have been released.
2 states, South Dakota and Mississippi, are set to sign bills which would restrict transgender women from competing on women's sports teams. In South Dakota, the bill would restrict trans women from playing on high school or college women's sports teams. The Mississippi bill bans trans women from playing in women's sports entirely. Both measures, which supporters claim is necessary to protect women's sports, is set to be signed by Republican Governors Kristi Noem of South Dakota and Tate Reeves of Mississippi. Both governors have already confirmed they would sign their respective bills. Opponents condemn the bill and claim the measures are based on discrimination and exclude trans women. A similar bill was enacted in Idaho last year and blocked by a federal court ruling.
Make sure to change any manual clocks this weekend because, like other states across the nation, Florida's daylight savings time starts this Saturday morning. Instead of going from 1:59 a.m. to 2 a.m., the clock will jump forward to 3 a.m. Daylight savings time was implemented during World War I, then repealed, then reinstated during World War II. Both times were to save energy for war efforts. While only 15 states still change the clock twice a year, some of these states' representatives have reinforced a bill in an effort to make this the very final clock change.
And that's your news for this week on FSC TV. Alongside Kenzie Council, I'm Andrew Pauling, and we'll be back with you next week at 5.